There he is, bedecked in white. Magnificent. Looks like an angel, doesn't he? Very good morning, Michael Dawson. Some criticism of Liverpool since winning the title. We've seen them enjoying themselves. They've clearly taken their foot off the gas. Fair enough, they've won the title, or they should be professional to the end. What have you made of their last three performances?
Good morning, Rob. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, actually, with the last three performances. However, on the flip side, when you've won the Premier League, you can do what you want to do. You really, really can. They've had pressure all year round. Teams chasing them, and the job Arne Slot has done, it's given this opportunity to try players that maybe haven't had as many minutes when he's had his best team out. And you saw it again last night, numerous changes. They'd certainly enjoyed themselves building up to this game. But they put themselves in this position, and we're talking about what do we talk about this? Do we give other teams a respect? Of course we do. And when Liverpool go ahead, you go, oh, he's made changes, they're fresh. Integrity of the game. We can't question this for Liverpool. He's got one eye on next season. He's enjoyed it, and he's earned the right to make these changes.
I can see both sides of this one. Let's put a counter-argument to yours, though, is that do they have a duty to respect the Premier League? I'm thinking about the games against Chelsea in particular, where they kind of, it was the one after they won the title where they still had their head in that. Brighton's still going for Europe as well, and they didn't put out a full-strength team. Do they have a duty to make the Premier League competitive to the end, or they can pick who they want, they can do what they want? They've won the title.
Yeah, they can, Rob. But people who are going for different challenges, European football, the relegation's already been done. But he's earned the right to do that. I mean, he's not chucking youth team players out there and just giving random debuts to young players. He's putting his squad players in, and he's seeing are they capable of stepping into the team when maybe you have injuries. And I think sometimes you can be a little bit disrespectful to the players that are coming into the team at times. So, yeah, he's made changes. I mean, there's been an awful lot. They've been away partying and doing whatever they've been doing in the build-up to games. But you've got to remember, as players, when you cross that white line, you give everything for the shirt. And the fans have travelled a long way on a Monday night down to Brighton. And, it could have been different last night. I mean, we saw Mo Salah miss a golden opportunity, which we very rarely say. So it could have been different, but they weren't to the level that we've seen for the majority of this season, not just last night, but in the two previous games as well. So ultimately, as professionals, you do take your foot off the gas a little bit when you've had that pressure all season. It's hard when they're 12 points clear. So what about the other teams that are chasing them? Liverpool have earned the right to do what they want to do. So I've got no problem with that. Obviously, the teams that are going for European football, I can understand their frustration. But this time of year, there's always some different results. That's ultimately, and players that maybe we haven't seen an awful lot of all season get a chance. And, relegation can come into this. Everything else is done apart from European football. So Arne Slot can do what he wants because he's earned the right to.
Yep. Jurgen Klopp can also do what he wants because he can.
He certainly can.
Close to signing the fullback, Jeremy Frimpong. Good move, that one?
Well, I think it was a position that you look at with Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving. Conor Bradley coming in last night. We know what his attributions are. He give it going forward. Great assist for the first goal, and then you see on the flip side, the defensive side, where he just switches off. But young player, will he be the first choice right back next season? Frimpong coming in, so it doesn't surprise me that they've gone and signed a player. They've done it early on. Different player to Trent Alexander-Arnold, which I'm not too sure how many fullbacks there is out there that play in the same way as Trent, his distribution, his assists. So different players, but yeah, a signing and a position that I think they had to strengthen in.
Yeah. What else do they need this summer? They're also being linked with Florian Wirtz. Is that good as well?
Yeah, I mean, I looked for an out-and-out number 9, and Manchester City won it with an out-and-out number 9. Liverpool have done it this year. I mean, they've got Nunes that they paid big money for, but he doesn't start very often. So there's different positions. I mean, in the middle of the park. I mean, they don't tend to do an awful lot of transfer businesses. You look last year, we're all questioning, did they need to bring someone in? Chiesa was the only player who they brought in, and he hasn't had an impact on the team and helped them win the league. So I think you always look to try and freshen up. I think there'll be a few signings still coming in. They've got the first one done, but it just gives everyone a lift. And when you are Premier League winners, the next season, everyone is challenging and wanting to get closer to you. And that expectation, that drive, it maybe just falls off a little bit. So we've seen it with Manchester City this year in, year out. We talk about complacency. Can you keep that drive going? And a few little tweaks here or there, new plays, it certainly gives everyone a lift.
Yeah. As for Brighton, still in with a chance of European football, how impressed have you been with their season?
Yeah, ups and downs. They've gone through periods in the season where you go, the response from getting beat 7 by Nottingham Forest, going on a good run, and then they go through periods where they lose a few games. I mean, but to be in eighth position, 58 points, and I'm sure them Brentford, Fulham and Bournemouth at the weekend were thinking, no way, how can Crystal Palace win the FA Cup? Because it's going to be a big challenge for them to make. I mean, look what they need to happen. They need Forest to do them a favour at the weekend, beating Chelsea, and then obviously Chelsea winning the Conference League. There's a lot of traffic in front of those teams chasing European football, but who knows? It's been a real competitive chase for this European football, for Champions League, Europa League, and the Conference League. So, yeah, they've had a really good season, Brighton, under Fabian Hurst. I think they would have probably expected a little bit more. I really, really do. They would have been looking to finish it a little bit high, but I still think it's a really good season for Brighton. You look at the teams ahead, Nottingham Forest took the spanner in the works. Not too many people would have had those in there challenging for Champions League football.
Well, let's pick up on it, because it is going to be a big final week in the Premier League in terms of that Champions League qualification, isn't it? Manchester City hosting Bournemouth tonight, which is their game in hand. Put a number on how desperate they are for a result after losing the FA Cup. If 1 is none and 10 is so desperate they can't sleep, is it 147?
Yeah, it certainly is something like that, Rob. It really, really is to see where they've been for the last 5, 6, 7 years. They've been so instrumental in the success, the Premier League. We just give nothing but compliments, but this season's been an absolute disaster for them. People saying, if they'd have won the FA Cup. Well, the FA Cup's gone now, and Champions League football is a must for Manchester City. It's amazing how they've dropped off. I think they will bounce back tonight against Bournemouth. And I think they'll still be in the Champions League. I do. I think it's going to be twists and turns. Sunday is going to be exciting. I'm just glad we've still got this excitement on the final day of the Premier League, because relegation's done, the Premier League titles are done, but Champions League, honestly, is going to be so exciting on Sunday afternoon, and I'm certainly looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I'm excited that despite all of that, we're still friends, which is lovely. On the flip side, FA Cup winners Crystal Palace also in action tonight. They host Wolves at Selhurst Park. Put into words how impressive Oliver Glasner has been there, considering the start they had to the season.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Not just this season. You look what he did at the back end of last year. And it didn't start great. We were all a little bit surprised. But I tell you what, to win the first ever FA Cup in their history, the job he's done, great to see. It's brilliant for football. It really, really is. For a team that dominated for so long in Manchester City, everyone thought they were favourites going in. The atmosphere at the weekend, those Crystal Palace fans, and tonight against Wolves, I mean, I don't think it'll matter too much to these players. I'm sure they've partied, enjoyed it, and rightly so. You win an FA Cup for the first time in the club's history, rightly so. They should have enjoyed it. But yeah, great job what he's done. The way he plays, got some really good players, and now the challenge for Crystal Palace and Steve Parish is to try and keep hold of these players, keep hold of the managers, because when you have success, people start talking about you.
Yeah, because I say we're still friends. That might not be the case at 6 o'clock Sunday. So, yeah, let's talk about this. Right, huge game for your former side, Nottingham Forest, as they host Chelsea at the City Ground. What are your thoughts and feelings on that at the moment? Can Forest... They have to go out and play for the win, but
yeah, of course,
they have to be on the front foot, and that's not what Forest normally do, is it?
And I don't think they will do it against Chelsea. They'll let Chelsea come onto them. They'll sit in a low block, which we've always seen, and they do tend to struggle when they have more possession. And the knockout punch, which I said to you a week ago, was dropping 2 points against Leicester. They responded really, really well against West Ham at the weekend. That getting back to the way they like to play in the low block and counter-attack against an opposition. And I'd be no different come Sunday when it's at the City Ground against Chelsea. Against your team, Rob, should I say. And I've said, Chelsea now, it's still in their hands. Sat in fourth, incredible season, but I just think there's a big twist. I really, really do come Sunday. And I think it could be at the City Ground. I think Forest could... I don't see them losing this game. I really, really don't. I think there's so much to play for. And I think there could be a major upset there.
I'm always neutral. Always neutral.
Of course, Rob.
Yeah.
A bit like myself.
Yeah. OK, we're looking at the screen now. We know Liverpool and Arsenal are in the Champions League. Right, who's the other three for you then?
Newcastle, Aston Villa and Manchester City. I think Chelsea just miss out because of Nottingham Forest. And as I said, I think as soon as they dropped 2 points at Chelsea, I thought it was nigh on going to be impossible because of the traffic ahead. However, Man City don't beat Bournemouth tonight, and then it all changes. I mean, I've stuck to my guns. I did have Forest in about 4 weeks ago when I had Aston Villa out, and I just thought it would be one of those two. And Chelsea have been in great form and put themselves in a magnificent position. But I just think there'll be an upset at the City Ground come Sunday afternoon.